Kamonyi DASSO is a security guard from DASSO company. As security aims, DASSO spanked the less than senior eye, beating less than senior eye until the eye get broke into different pieces. After all, the community residents took this young man who was beaten to death at a hospital to meet a doctor. It is a very shocking and image to see, sad news to hear, and even a doctor shed tears due to what we all see. Doctor, the best solution was to remove his eye, which was broken into different pieces. You all see, it is a tragedy event that took place in this community. This man who was beaten to death, he is sick very seriously at the hospital. A residency, Twiringiyimana Aimable, was admitted to Muganza Eye Hospital in Runda Sector, Kamonyi District after undergoing eye surgery because he was beaten by the DASSO of Ngoma Cell, Nyamiyaga Sector, and blindfolded. Where he is ill, it is not easy to speak and have food, especially as it requires him to plug machines because even his cheek are damaged by the DASSO. He lives in pain with his mother, where she is now free from everything, every activity, because to take care of his son and follow up to his life. Indeed, to say his life is about to go, because the serious pain he is in, and it is an inexplainable story that is going on back in Africa, because this young man, what happened to him, it is a tragedy to not speak about. And his mother leave everything he was busy doing with, and he decided to take care of his son who been tragedy and damaged by the DASSO with no reason. As we continue to give to you the story, you're going to see how all those is taking place from point one to the last. His mother, Laws, Twiringiyimana's mother, called Laws, say her son is now disabled after being beaten by the DASSO at work. She said that after surgery and one eye was removed, doctors are now battling and trying to treat another part of his body that was also injured. She also said that there is a hope that the remaining eye will be the one that he will be healed and at least used by him to see and start to functioning again. She goes on to say that her son was beaten from the trade center. The DASSO told him to help him evacuate people because the hour had come to close. The DASSO meet while they are drinking, stood up and grabbed him in the neck with the shot and cut him off, while Aimable apparently went out to meet and saw the DASSO and the security guards. They are shooting at him and refused to listen from him. On his way back from the gathering, Aimable apparently hit the boy, and they were still friends. It was during this an agreement that the DASSO came in with a stick, and one of the patrolmen came in and punched Aimable, urging that urging a lot and knocking him in the knocking him to the ground and continued to beat him. According to the knowledge base, there is no reason why the soul can kill people, and no reason why the soul can break the eye of people around them. She said her son, when he was beaten by the soul and taken to meet a doctor, said he accidentally took place in a crowd of people and killed him because the soul did not want him to be taken at the hospital to meet a doctor after had been threatened and killed to death by those the soul. The soul grabbed a stick and punched him up and knocked him to the ground and kept pushing him to the ground, and the soul normally shoot people with no reason. The soul punched him in his lip, punched him in every part of his body, and broke his eye into different pieces, and even our eye was affected. And we are beginning to seek to meet a doctor who will treat my son so properly so that he will be better. But in that process, the soul refused to take him at the hospital. There was a crowd and conflict that was going on because the community want to take him at the hospital, and the soul itself also want to take him at the hospital. There was conflict going on to think about who is the right person to take the broken man at the hospital. With the envelop, the community got responsibility to take my son at the hospital. He is now at the hospital, have a doctor who are treating him to be better soon enough. The villager kindly took him from DASSO, and the villager took my son at the hospital to meet a doctor. She added that they took him to Nyamiyaga Health Center, and they found that they had nothing to do with him, and they decided to send him to Runda Hospital, where they found out that they were overwhelmed and decided to send him at Muganza Eye Hospital in Runda Sector, where they requested and questioned him to remove his damaged eye. Currently, doctors are struggling to treat another eye and take care of him in his pain he's going through after surgery. All what we can say is God to help him be recovered soon enough, and the remaining eye, which is the one, should be okay. Help him to watch and move and do all the normal thing life he was really living in.